going into those details, that is your field, but I will make mention of it as a constitutional right in the church because I'm a Christian, baptized, and I fight for that. You took a decision there. It is that one which came in through Gahini, through Kabari, and came to Shumbura. It is that I should tell you about. But I'm going to make it short. It is because a wind that was blowing for revival from Kunjiri, it's Rujumbura, now you call it Kunjiri. It just came in and said there is a God who saves and transforms people from this situation to another. We had not heard of salvation, we had not heard of, I remember my brother, when we were going for baptism, 1947, a friend, and we were going to be baptized, they were giving us empare, trousers, and he tried to put on a trouser, because for us we were used to a kenda, you know, you would just tie in your tummy and walk without this empare business. He tried to put in only one leg, then in the same hole, he put there a second leg, he fell down. We had not seen this, but God entered into his people, gave us salvation. That salvation made us escape from where we were born, in Chaje, in the south of Mtunga, and became, going to finish, don't get worried. And we moved at night because we didn't have a permit to take us to another county. So moving from one county to another was not acceptable. You would be penalized. But you had to move at night to escape. What were we looking for? The wind of the Barokore. This wind of the Barokore, as I heard it, took us and told us about going to school. And we went to school and got education which has brought all this. Now, after that, getting education, which Constance got, and Karazab, from 1946 and 47, we went to school. And that's why he could even hear some of these speeches these people were making to school. Salvation, education. Now, the third one is a husband. A husband. Kabonero came as a gift from God to Constance Chunda, my sister. This is a man who did not make this woman an anthill to stumble on and jump over, but made her a mountain that you are talking about, you people today. It was this husband. The husband who is not here is the one who made the difference. Second to the message of God, the husband made the difference. So Susan, maybe what you can advise Jim, which I think you confess and you say he started on it, but he hasn't finished. I pray for you, Jim, that you continue making her a mountain. She also should do the same, making you a mountain. Because I know where you have taken it single-handed, things have gone wrong. Let both of you be mountains. Your grace, this. And Kosia did that. The last one is the children. You are the one who have made me jumble my words like this. I'm never like this. But when you put me on this business, I get problems. Children. Susan, Robert, Richard, and all those that follow, including you, who I knew went to Constance in thin and thick. She was able to have so many girls, so many boys coming in because of her magnanimity. Children, thank you, you are my children. I'm the one who should threaten you, but I don't threaten because I know there is the Lord. If I threaten and God behaves otherwise, what does it matter? But thank you for not making your mother, for not making your father. I don't separate them. I'm reminding you of what happened in the past. for not making them go crazy. Children have made parents crazy. I am talking of the facts rather than these things you choose to put on your telephone. Mine are real. You know it yourselves who are sitting here. You turn to your friend and say, is so-and-so uncomfortable because of the children, or is he comfortable because of the children? Constance became comfortable. Although she was very hardworking, she was religious, she worked. But if you people had become a nuisance, then Constance maybe would have died a different person. I want to thank you. I want to end with you. I will tell you more. I want to thank all those who helped. I did stay in hospital. I started with my sister. I moved with her everywhere, in education, in marriage, in children upbringing, in church. The bishops here know it, up to the day she breathed last. I never deserted her. I never deserted her. Go and never desert your siblings, never desert your countrymen, never purely make your relationship with your colleague or friend a commercial friendship that expires when finances go down. May God bless you and thank you.
Thank you very much, Uncle John Wycliffe Karazarwe. Let me now invite Honorable Jim Mwezi to come and give his remarks.
Thank you very much, Your Grace, the Archbishop, the bishops, and the entire clergy, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, Right Honorable Ruhakana Rugunda, the Prime Minister Emeritus of Uganda and your dear wife, the President's representative, Honorable Bright Ruamberama, family of Kabonero, ladies and gentlemen, in the interest of time. I don't have much time. Mine has been consumed by senior people, and I will see whether I can do what I was taught in English, to summarize. And I will start with what should be the last, so that I don't forget. And thank you, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, who is my friend also, for coming to share with us at this time. And thank you, Right Honorable Ruhakana Rugunda. I know you are family, but thank you very much for coming. And thank Your Grace, the Archbishop, who was on leave, but because my phone was the first one you received when you landed at Entebbe, you graciously came, and thank you for the good message you gave us. Most of the things have been talked about our mother. She was a very special person who touched many of us in different ways, and we thank God for that. I have talked before, and I gave testimony using examples in my life to show what kind of person this lady was. She had a lot of love. She loved her children so much, so that when I approached her in 1981 to buy her piece of land somewhere in Rurumbura, which they were not using because they had gone to Ntungamo, she refused. She said, "This is land for my children." But when I got married to Susan, she gave it to me as a gift. That is when that money which I wanted to buy the money with had been taken away by the government, which arrested me and almost killed me, and I escaped and went to the bush. But when I came, she gave me that land. She had a lot of love. She also was a very entrepreneurial, which she passed over to her children, especially Bob. That is, I will leave it at that because of time. But she was very intelligent, and that's what I want to concentrate on. She was intelligent, clever, and wise, and very strategic in outlook. And I'm a great beneficiary from that. Because in my political life, which many of you know had a lot of turbulence, she was my counselor. I would approach her and she would analyze it for me. And she'd say, you handle it this way. Because my real self would react like many others did react. But she would say no. She would give so many proverbs, which I love so much, to understand the importance. Even this anthill they are talking about, she's the one who told me. Even if her husband also treated her as such, but she told me that don't treat your wife like an anthill. If you do, people will walk over her. But if you treat her, you look at her as a mountain, everybody else will worship her. That's what she told me. And that's what I did to Susan, although she has given me 90%. But given my natural instincts, this is still distinction number one. Because that's how she's the senior presidential advisor, she's a vice chairman, UTB, chairperson of Uganda Hotel Owners Association. She has traveled the world, because I look at her as a mountain, and I hope you worship her. So, this is the lady we are sending off. But I'm glad, Your Grace, you confirmed what I have been telling this audience in the last 2 days. I've been saying that those who love her, there is only one thing they can do. Because we know her address now. It is heaven. And so, those who want to meet her, there is no choice. We have to accept Jesus and find her there. And when you said those who are close, I can tell you I'm now very, very close. I'm the closest. But I told them that I have read the Bible very well. And I know that we communicate directly to God. And it doesn't take long to reconcile and go to heaven. Even the other man who had already been condemned and put on the cross to be killed as a robber, when he told Jesus that, remember me, he said, you will be with me. So for us, we haven't even been condemned. So we can really, we shall go there. So I am sure for me, and I appeal to you, all of you, we should eventually accept Jesus. It doesn't take long, it's an instant. Even after committing a crime, you should, a sin, you should say, God, you gave me these horrible characteristics. Forgive me, I apologize, I confess, then you will go and meet Constance and others in heaven. Yes. So, with those few remarks, I want to thank the children again for looking after her mom, their mom, our mom. They thank me, but for me, I was loving her back because she loved me. I want to thank Susan because Susan loved her mom. I was scared. Even now I'm scared. I think that's why she's using it as a threat, that I must look after her because she knows how much, that I know how much she loved her mom. But I can tell you that you will not lack. I know I can't be your mother, but because of what she did for me, when I'm here, I will do what she wanted me to do. And I thank Bob and Richard and Dora for looking after her. She was staying with us, but you really looked after her. We are going to miss her. She was a very important person in politics. I know it. In Tungamo, I remember Honorable Tashovia Stephen talked about it. Honorable Kutan always talks about it. She was a stabilizer. She loved peace, unity, and stability. But we shall continue to do what she wanted us to do. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jim Mwezi. We have a message, one message from a family friend, from the Royal Highness Naginda. I think it's with Mrs. Maria Chiwanuka. Okay. Very briefly.
Your Grace the Archbishop, the Kabonero family, fellow mourners, all protocol observed. Please accept my most sincere sympathies on the passing of Canon Constance Kabonero. She left a very strong legacy, and she has left a very strong family to carry it on. I'm here to bring you the condolences of Her Royal Highness, the Nabagereka Sylvia Najinda, who is a family friend of the Kaboneros. Canon Susan Kabonero Mwezi, Ambassador Richard Kabonero, and Mr. Robert Kabonero. Dear Susan, Richard, and Robert, at this time of sorrow, I share your grief with deepest sympathy and condolences for the sad passing of your beloved mother, Canon Constance Kabonero. May you take comfort in knowing that God is with you, and may He be your consolation going forward. A strong church pillar in Tungamo district, Canon Constance was a respectful, God-fearing woman who has left a great legacy. She cared for and supported women and children in her career, both as a nurse and thereafter. Her passing leaves a void in the family, the Ntungamo community, and the Ugandan country as a whole. I pray that the love of God enfolds you and gives you courage and strength. May the peace that comes from the memory shared with her comfort you and your families. Please know you're all very close in our thoughts and prayers. Rest in peace, Canon Constance Kabonero, Sylvia Najinda, Nabagereka.
Thank you very much, Maria. It's now my pleasure and honor to invite the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, a child in this family, Speaker, Honorable Thomas Tayewa, to come and address this gathering. Thank you.
Your Grace, and the clergy, the Kabonero family, I saw Her Excellency Spitioza Kazibwe, I think around, Right Honorable Rakana Rugunda, Honorable Jim, the representative of His Excellency the President, fellow monarchs. I think from the testimonies, there is nothing much one would add on, apart from thanking the children for looking after their mother. We have very many cases, especially us politicians, and which Mzee Karazare touched on. Abana baberira bazire kizibu. We have very many cases we handle. Honorable Jim, I know you handle. Honorable Bright, you handle. Very many cases. Conquer Imo, you became a blessing. A blessing. I'm on leave. When we finish budget, usually that's the time when the speaker and deputy speaker have the time to go on leave. So I switched off my phone, as I'm now also having some peace. So I didn't know that Mama had died. Even I tell my assistants, don't bring any phone to me. I'm resting. But my wife, I think, saw it on Twitter, so she informed me today morning. That's when I called you, General Jim, and you told me you have church service, and I had it come. So, Musasre kushanga mtinziro muka, your home is my home. Susan, Bob, Richard, I'm always at your home, and I always feel comfortable in the family. So, nature sasimbe kabachire homuka. But General Jim, I bring you and the whole family, I bring you condolences from the Speaker of Parliament, from the leadership of Parliament, and inform the congregation that General Jim is our anchor in Parliament, especially us. Kutukuhira tuinamba General Jim, tuinamba Honorable Ramirama. You know, we handle very, very delicate situations where you want to make a decision and you need that, encyclopedia kind of advice. You whisper, and General Jim is always available. Honorable Bright Ramirama, the elders, mwebare mnonga, kandi ntuwaisa kushaja kwitu. Conquer, what I've learned from today is that as leaders, whatever we do, we should be looking at legacies of people like Mama Constance, Hawokuba. These people suffered a lot for this country. Ugandans, Your Grace, and I request you pray for this country. We have one problem. And my Uganda friend summarized it properly. He said, Wana Uganda bagara na yete bagariza. Nitwenda kunkati twendeza. Now, after reading the profile, and you meet someone who believes that Susan is privileged because of this government, Bob is privileged because of this government, Richard is privileged because of this government. Konkoka shangangu nyina katanu kakora rukumurenda tana mukaka. Hakana akora mabari. Yajira kantu karunji omwana yajira kantu karunji muze kamweterere. Ngwa government age. I've had these cases in Parliament where, we deal with petitions every day. Buri muntu inakantu bakuretera cha dozia. So really, the testimony I've read has shown me that murioni muripi by'abazire banyu ba bibire. And Bob has made it very, very clear. Number two, Your Grace, Mzee Karazare really gave us an assignment, putting this country in the hands of God, whatever we are doing. And I'm really happy the family has been giving back to the community very, very strongly, from church to helping which kind of people. They've been doing a lot. Alexander the Great left one of the best wills when he was dying. He said, Kundafe, when I die, you bring the best doctors in the world, the professors, to be the ones to carry my coffin. People said, but why waste resources at that time? And he said, no, I want to show people that I had all money to bring any kind of doctor to save me, but I couldn't be saved. So recover syndication which are kumbesa. Ajatecha akabiri, I want you to make a coffin in a whole obudyango engaro zanje omuzira arabe, because I want to go when people are seeing my hands. Reason being, I want people to understand that I came empty-handed and I've gone back empty-handed. Nothing I've taken from this one. Echakasha tiyajati, efeza zanje, gold, diamonds, power, everything, so that mourners can step on it and walk on it, and they push my coffin on it. Haboko byensi nibush. So, Bob nabasuzani mwebare kukora kutereza abiruhanga yababichize as a community, haboko byensi nibusha umushandu cyo mutino cyamane zote. So when I heard the testimony and Canon and okoko kujunwa okoko kwiziremo nyoti nkajunirwe bichigumire konka. Jim tried to simplify it that I can wait nyoni shabaruhanga ababa bokurinda kugira ngo ashaha yamuhera jati mukama nacu na unawazo mwiguru abo mubime ticket tutanike kora kariguru konka ndiyo muhanda akuba embe nagambire ben kavuyanti to jeunesse taryecho ebyensi byagu. So we are now and I'm doing well. It's a process, but slowly by slowly. But some of the decisions we take, some people want us to take decisions when we are in positions of responsibility. Decisions not based on the painful experiences of our country, on the culture that has been protected over years and years and years. When I got to Parliament and colleagues move a motion that we protect our country, we protect our values, we protect our children, it's because of people like Constance. And ebebe byo kugira ngo shweko ujundo iho butuzi. We are a country, I know, we might be beggars, but we should be beggars with a choice. Because we have a choice to behave better and look after our country. We have a choice to be strong and protect our children and protect the institution of the family. We have that choice. But we also have a choice of saying, no, we are going to lose billions. Tourists are going to cancel visas. And then you end up betraying people like Constance. They won't be happy with you in their prayer. So we shall stand firm, Your Grace, and continue making those decisions. But we shall engage, we shall explain to these people. Because also there are things they do that we don't believe in, but we have to relate it. So we shall engage slowly by slowly, and I'm happy we engage in progressively. Finally, Abishkur. I grew up with my grandmother. I know what it means losing a grandmother. Me, I came to Kampala in 2001, going to Makerere. Kanye to Rome Charoko to take songs. Mpora twaterera ni twahimu kubaganire birungi twagwa turuho turemire. So now kante ahaho no kurango ni tutwaika hotereze ntebe twetera kacucu tushitame honi tuganire nk'abashisha. You have an opportunity, you've had the best opportunity, don't squander it. I've told these children of the rich, children of the rich, you have a bigger task to maintain the rigors of your parents. Ituita wa mweti inestu wa inheritance. Nanaka wanja kinyombe chireho nkeguriri. So tino rukumbanja byinji. Konki mwe mwinobuzibu. You have to work hard. And I'm glad you're already working hard. I visited some in Canada, and I've seen you're doing well. And I pray all of you could continue doing well. As children, we need to support each other. Turebengu ebyabazire bitu bakozire bitakaaba ebyokuza kutwihahihanga ryitu n'okutudivatinga kureka ebentandikiro yokwongeraho. Muzeyi Karazaro, I studied with your daughter Patience my MBA at Esami. We graduated together. So abana babinzi nimbamanya kandi bariyo nibakoraje ohorohamire bariyo nibakoraje aba bana ekikuru nitwetaaga eshara zanyu kugira ngu tugume tukore ebirimo n'ebyo byingi munonga. Reka twendeze omukikuru ekihumuro kirungi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, for those comforting words. It's now my pleasure to invite the envoy and representative of His Excellency, Honorable Bright Wamirama, to deliver his message.
Your Grace, the Archbishop and the clergy, the bereaved family, Right Honorable Thomas Tayebwa, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Her Excellency Speciosa Kazwe, Right Honorable Rakana Rugunda and your wife, colleagues, ministers, and members of Parliament, relatives and friends. I'm here to deliver the message from His Excellency, the President, who has not been able to be here with us today, but who is grieving with the family, and who has promised to see you, as communicated to Susan this morning, after the retreat from Chankwanzi. However, before I deliver his message, allow me to say 4 things about Aunt Constance. Aunt Constance was very religious and she lived a good life. For us who have grown as children under her, we testify and we are very sure she's with the Lord. Aunt Constance had family values, and when we lost our mother, she was there for us. We have lost another mother today. Aunt Constance was an entrepreneur and a commercial dairy farmer. The people of Ntungamo, whatever you have heard on Ndafu, she has a very big hand in it. Whatever you celebrate in the dairy sector, in the entire Mbororo, she had a very big hand in it. Aunt Constance was a politician and a very effective communicator. I will just give one critical incident in recent time when she was sick. One of our colleagues was arrested on the Freemason grounds, and she called me at 10 o'clock. I was surprised when she called me because I knew she was sick. I said, "Where are you?" I told her I was in Sijo. I said, "Are you aware that your friend has been arrested?" I said, "Yes, I've been told." "What are you doing to save your friend?" And I told her that we are making arrangements to do whatever it takes to bring justice to our colleague. About 2 weeks, I don't remember very well, and she was very, very well informed. She knew Honorable Jimu and Bob were in Rubare in court, and I think she had been told that I was going to Chitaria. At around 9:30 in the morning, she called me. "Bright, where are you?" I said, "I'm in Chitaria." "Are you sure you are coordinating with your brothers?" I said, "Yes." "Can you tell me after?" That was Constance. She was a nationalist and down to earth. I'm very sure that Honorable Rukutana is what he is because of the influence of late Auntie Constance. Maybe, possibly, those of you who know Rukutana, he's not a very close to God person, but he has built a church, and maybe it's because of her influence. Dear Monas, the President has written a very brief condolence message, and he has asked me to represent him here and also deliver another message to Ibare on Saturday. Condolence message to the Kabonero family. I would like to convey my condolence to the Kabonero family following the death of our sister Constance Kabonero. Her village in Nyabushenyi was only 3 or so miles from where I was born, Nyamambo, Nyaburuza, Mtungamu. Apart from hearing about their family and studying with her brother Karazarwe at Chamate, I remember seeing her at Mtungamu Trading Center in 1959. She arrived on the Fort Potro Kabare bus that used to come through Ishaka and Rutsindura. She was a modern girl putting on a beret. I never saw her again until 1970 when I was working with the president in the president's office. I visited her and her husband in their house in Kakoba. After those early meetings, Constance became Mtembuzi, a pioneer of modern livestock farming at Ibare, ya Karbuga, Heihi, near Ruchika and Nyamarebe. These areas are part of our ancient traditional grazing areas encapsulated into songs and poems that she converted into modern money-making farms. What she and a few others pioneered in those days is what we have been convincing the Bankorera Echida Chonka subsistence farmers to do ever since 1995 when I made a countrywide tour on this very point. The Kabonero educated their children. She was very active in the church and also in NRM. She, together with other elders, trained as LDUs at Ruwentanga when the NRM came to power in 1986. Their joining the LDU helped to control crime in the area, which had claimed the lives of Mugasha, Katutsi, and others in the area. She was both a traditional and modern. She has made her contribution, which we salute. She has left a legacy which all of you should emulate. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Signed, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President and the Chairman of the NRM, 31st May 2023. He has made a contribution towards burial expense of 10 million and pass it on to you. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
Honorable Bright, thank you very much. We request you to lay the wreath for His Excellency, which is there. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this part of the function. We want to thank you very much for having come to join us to say farewell to Canon Constance. We want to thank the church and also apologize profusely for overshooting the time. But we believe you understand. Thank you very much. Burial is on Saturday, been in Tungamo. I don't have the time to give you directions now, but you can get them anywhere, anytime. Let me hand over back to the church. Thank you very much, Your Grace, for this service. Thank you very much, the clergy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Along the way, we're joined by the Right Reverend Dr. Hannington Mutebi. Bishop, thank you so much for joining us in this service. We want to thank you for your contributions. You managed to get 8,369,400, 400 Kenya shillings, 100 South African rands, 122 US dollars. Thank you so much, and I want a family member to come and receive this money. We thank you all for coming, and let us stand and conclude this service as the choir leads us in a hymn. The hymn is on page 15. Page 15.